And we are up and running with Sunrise
Good morning.
Extra. Hopefully people, if you're watching on Facebook, obviously you see us on our stream. If you have a friend that usually watches us on Instagram, let them know to turn on their Facebook pages because we're not dialing up the Instagram account for some reason this morning. No big deal. We are dialing up the Tim Gordon because Tim brought to us today, Ashley, on the Sunrise TV program, what I am calling,
such a good story.
if not I have to think about it, I guess, a little bit, but it definitely is one of the best stories we've presented so far in 2019 about this former Olympic swimmer who's still killing it in the pool at how old?
85 years old. Yeah, he's terrific.
Awesome.
He
What's his
really
name?
is. His name is Dave Ratcliffe.
Okay.
He lives in Hillsborough. And by the way, it was one of my favorite stories to tell of 2019, maybe 2018 too. It really just a great guy, inspirational. Yeah, he's 85 years old. He holds all kinds of masters swimming world records and U.S. records in open water swimming and, you know, the 400, 800, 1,000, 1,500. And he's a freestyle swimmer and he just rocks it. And he is, you know, he is just steady and he's solid and he's a super nice guy.
So we're going to show the package in a moment. We're going to show the story in a moment, I promise you. But we want to have some fun. So if you're watching Sunrise Extra, what we've learned, Tim, over the last few months doing this extra program is that some people don't even watch our TV show. They only see us on this streaming program. So we will show you this entire story that Tim presented for us on TV earlier this morning in a moment. But we also want to have some interaction with you. So the question we're asking in regards to the story, we're not going to ask you to agree with us. It's awesome because we know it's an awesome story. We're wondering, like, what is something you do now? And it doesn't matter if you're watching us in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s. What is something that you do now that you love to do? Like David loves to swim, that you still hope you can do when you're 85. And I'm still thinking about this one myself, but if you have an answer, chime in, let us know on Facebook. Again, what is something that you love to do now, whatever age you are, that you hope you could still do when you're 85? Because that's what I get out of the story, that this man has loved swimming his entire life and has refused to let it go, right?
Yeah, absolutely right. You know, he took some years off, you know, after he did the Olympics and kind of got into coaching and school administration, took some years off, but he got back in his 60s. And competitively, yeah. I mean, he still swam, but he wasn't swimming competitively for a few decades. But he's always loved the water. It's definitely what's kept him going. He's just so sharp. And he said, you know, you use it or lose it. And that's, I think, true for his mind and his body and just the whole works.
So Brian Matthews, our director during the Sunrise Extra program, can we roll the entire story that Tim presented to us earlier? Do we have that queued up? All right.
Yeah, he says.
Do it.
The man walking toward you is an Olympic swimmer who competed back in 1956. Dave Ratcliffe of Hillsborough still comes to the pool a lot.
You know, I can't really tell you how great it is at 85 to walk onto the deck and get in and swim with a bunch of people who are younger than you and still be able to do a workout.
For Dave, it's a lot about the workout and what it does for him.
I'm a strong believer in that old saying, use it or lose it.
I would suggest your fastest person do the 100.
But he's also a proud member of the Tualatin Hills Barracudas, a masters swim team for people 18 and up. Dave is the oldest.
I'm hanging on with friends and they're helping me, and I beat them sometimes and they beat me a lot, but I get to get in and work with them, and it's kept me going.
Since he started swimming as a high school junior, Dave's done more than just hang on. As a senior, he was an All-American, then again in college for Cal. And when the young man was drafted into the Army, it earned him the ability to travel the world and train for the 1956 Olympics.
And back then, I'm the luckiest guy alive. They took 3. Now they only take 2. And I was 3rd in the 1500 at the trial, which qualified me for the team. This is a sweatshirt.
You know, it still fits, too.
Yeah, it does.
The Olympian didn't medal in Melbourne, but it was an amazing time.
When you walk in on the opening ceremony to a stadium with 100,000 people and everything, you know, you get goosebumps.
After that, Dave met his wife of 60 years, Nancy.
Well, we met at a swimming pool, so that's good.
You know,
That's
surprising. And settled into a life of coaching and school administration. But the pool called him back. And now as a masters swimmer, he's found years of amazing competitive success.
In the 75, 79, I hold all the world records, 200, 400, 800, and 1500. For short course yards, I hold the 100, 200, 500, 1,000 and 1650. And then U.S. Swimming has a bunch of distance events. And I hold the 1 and 2 mile open water swim record.
Dave could go on more, but we're running out of time. He's not bragging either. At 85, he's very grateful for all he has, including Nancy. She's supported his swimming.
We go to these meets and we'll see wives by themselves or we'll see husbands by themselves. And they see us together, and she's been there for everything.
The hypoxic ones are going to be on a minute, and I'd like you to breathe every 5 or more, unless you're really super old, then you get out of that.
And in the pool, Dave's coach says he is still learning, looking to set more records and share.
He's the friendliest man in the pool. In the locker room, out in the parking lot. I mean, he is really an ambassador to the sport.
To me, swimming has been my life. And if I can give anything back to it, then that means a lot.
Can I just
that was
clap?
awesome.
That was such a good story.
Thank you.
It's his story, right? So it's good, but it has
really
to be
is.
told in a certain way. You told it great.
Oh, thanks.
I think Eric Patterson shot that with you,
Yeah,
our
Eric,
photographer.
you bet.
And if you
guys
do
are
watch the TV show, our Sunrise TV show, you see Eric out and about every day. Today he was at Enchanted Forest, but I love the shots
Yeah,
of the water.
Yeah, got great shots, edited beautifully. He does such a great job. He really made that happen.
I'm watching that story thinking you could have done more, right? You had to keep it to a certain time. It was like 3
yeah,
minutes. You
3.5.
You could have gone.
I could have
30
gone
minutes.
5.5. We talked. We did an interview.
Your interview was so long.
Oh, it was about 17, 18, maybe 20 minutes, and usually you don't do an interview that long because then you have a lot of material
You have
to
to
log.
listen to
He's
it
got
all,
85
yeah.
years of life to tell, and I made the mistake of saying, Dave, take me back to the beginning when you started swimming, and
That's
we went
the
from
best
there.
stuff, yeah.
It was great, though. Totally worth a great conversation.
Think about the 2 hours worth of Sunrise show that we put together today and all the stories we had in there. We had
Yeah.
a lot of, there's a lot of crime stories in
Yep.
this. Wouldn't you just love to blow it all out and say, hey, we're going to spend 30 minutes on this guy today,
Yes,
David Radcliffe.
I agree.
So what we're asking today, in honor of Mr. David, is what is something that you love to do in your life that you hope you can continue to do even when you reach the age of 85? And there are so many great comments here. Ashley and Tim following the stream as well. So I'm going to lead one off and then you
Okay.
can take over, Ashley. Holly Reese says, I'm 70 and I hike 10 miles a week with my dogs. I attribute this to my 100% plant-based diet.
Nice.
She's 70 and she hikes 10 miles a week.
That's fantastic.
Jenny says, I love hiking in the gorge. As a little kid, got back to it in my late 40s. I love it. I will never give it up. Rob St. Helen, of course, playing hockey, he hopes to be able to do.
Colleen Hunter says, I love to swim. So she's with Dave. She loves to swim as well. It's meditating, peaceful, and the best form of exercise. It is really so low impact and wonderful.
We have a follower, she's on here daily, I know, Peg. I guess you could pronounce her name Peg Elephant, but I think it's Elephant.
The
That
French,
sounds-
maybe.
Yes.
Peg
very
Elephant.
classy.
You can correct me if I'm wrong. Peg Elephant. She says that she too swims. She had a kidney transplant. And she's also 70. So 70 with a kidney transplant,
Wow.
loves the water, says Peg Elephant.
I love Gayla McCready's comment. Gayla says, I'm 64 and I have recently gone back to school to be an esthetician. So maybe a
Wow.
second career. Good for you. That is
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Jenny Carlson is saying, hey, how about it? How about some of these more can-do
Can-do
stories?
positive
Absolutely.
stories.
We'll do 'em.
Kevin O'Halloran, yes,
I like
I'm
that.
63, but doesn't mean I'm not hurting from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he says he just hiked 50 miles at 9,000 feet in the Alps.
Yes,
Oh,
that
was
was
his first
Oh.
comment.
second of his
Yeah,
comments.
right.
I see. Okay,
Yes.
that's
50
funny.
miles at 9,000 feet. Way to go, Kevin.
David Gilchrist, I'm 65. I've been sailing since I was 12. I hope to be sailing for many more years to come. I applaud this swimmer. Wow.
It's something that I will probably die regretting because I haven't done anything to change this. I am a terrible swimmer, and I see a lot of people commenting on our feed this morning. David obviously believes it. It's a great form of exercise.
It truly is.
I had uncles that I watched growing up do it, and they were wonderful at it. And when you're good at swimming, right? I mean, I don't know if you're a decent swimmer, Tim, a very good swimmer.
Yeah, I'm decent.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Come on, keep raising the bar.
I'm
How good?
I'm good,
pretty
but I'm not
great.
competitive. I used to swim on a swim team
Okay.
as a kid.
Are you a
Sure.
good swimmer? Great swimmer? How would you describe yourself?
No, I can swim. I could keep myself hopefully from drowning. Is about as good as I can. I mean, honestly,
That's good.
That's a plus.
Important. That's a good start.
I look at some people, and they look like when they're in the water, they look like they're walking. Like when I walk, I don't think about it,
Yeah,
right? I do
they
it with
just
ease. I would like
glide.
to get in the water and swim like I'm walking. Is that how it is for you?
You know, no, not completely, but it is. You know, there's something about that. Dave's coach, John Clark, said the first thing he teaches swimmers is to breathe because the breathing is what makes it so effortless.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can't be like, oh, like this. You've got to be. It's got to be a smooth motion. And when you see that smooth motion, you're right. It's just it's so much easier to do when you can swim that way.
We got a funny comment from Rob. Would you like to read it?
On my second hope, Rob St. Helen says, now he's the hockey player. He says, my second hope is to be doing at age 85, watching Ashley and Drew still on TV. So how old are you now, Rob?
Let's hope.
Yeah, how old are you now?
Last for a while.
85 be
And could
for
you put a treadmill in front of the screen at least, Rob? That would be great because we were talking exercise.
Yeah,
here.
totally. Well,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what would you guys? What do you hope to be doing at 85? Do you have a hobby that you?
Yeah, well, I
really
love to fish. I love
Fishing?
trout fishing. I
Yeah.
love fishing for salmon, steelhead. That's not super active. The trout fishing is getting in and out of rivers and wading, that kind of thing. But I hope I'll continue to swim as well. I did swim at the gym some, and it's just such a great exercise.
Totally.
So yeah, those two things. Water things.
My life is so sad. I
Why
mean,
are you
honestly, I'm
laughing?
thinking about what do I do normally now at
What are
45
my hobbies?
That I don't have any hobbies. I'm with the
You know,
kids a lot.
time. I know.
I like
the
to do
kids, the
nothing.
family.
They probably don't
For
want me around.
How about
in
watching
40
Netflix?
years, I'm 85. I'm sure my kids don't want me to drive them to baseball practice anymore. But you know what? Honestly, I do think about sometimes.
What?
Like I love to eat. I do enjoy eating, and I'm fortunate enough to where I don't know what the heck's going on inside here. I'm not exercising enough to be this skinny.
Good metabolism,
But
man.
I
I'm a little
fortunately,
jealous.
but I'm always afraid that like I'm going to find out there's certain things I can't eat anymore, and I'll have to
Oh.
stop eating.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping
Well,
when
that
I'm
will
85,
happen. I
I
will
can.
It
guarantee
happens.
you.
Think what?
In my
Yes.
50s, it's happening to me. I always used to be a rail.
everybody has that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, your
Yeah.
metabolism is gonna catch up with
When?
you.
I think it would have happened
Well-
already. I'm not even talking about gaining weight. I'm talking about like maybe like I become allergic to something or something makes me ill.
I think at
that's
some
what I'm
point
talking
a
about.
doctor is going to tell you, hey man, you got to cut back on X, Y, or Z.
I
Whatever
love
that
good
is.
food too.
The pasta? What are you going to tell me? The pasta?
I don't know
Just
what
the
it's going
cream
to be. I don't
sauce.
know
The
what
amber
you eat.
beers?
Oh, no way.
Continue to chime in with us today. Let us know what is something that you love to do that you wish you can continue to do when you're 85. And I also think people appreciate, the story behind the story. Like, hey, how did
Yeah.
you guys find out about David Radcliffe? Pretty cool that his coach contacted us, right?
That's how it happened. We get great tips from people about stories like this, and keep them coming. But yeah, John Clark, the coach, let us know about Dave, and I'm so glad he did, because what a great guy to
What did
meet.
Dave say to you when you first called him up and you're like, hey, so we want to
Yeah.
do this big story? Was he like, sure?
Yeah, he was kind of like, well, yeah, that sounds like a
that's
good
neat.
idea. He said, Nancy and I are going to the fjords of Norway in a week, so if you want to do it soon, we got to do it soon, because they were going on their 60th anniversary trip. They never
Yeah.
got a honeymoon, I guess, when they got
Aw.
married. They were too busy swimming and working and stuff, I
And
guess.
his wife's name?
Is Nancy.
Nancy.
Yeah.
So she goes to all of his
Yeah, she
competitions
travels
over
with
the
him, and he
years.
travels around the country and around the world, too,
That's
for
so
some of
cool.
these Masters competitions.
One more comment really quick. Sorry. Sharon, remember Gayla, who went back to school to be an esthetician we just talked about? Sharon says, Gayla, good for you. I just graduated at 58 and got my specialized science degree in special ed as a paraeducator. Sharon, great for you, too. That's
Fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah.
Loving our viewers' comments this morning. When you contacted David, did he indicate that he actually watches our show or no?
I didn't ask him.
Sometimes you
He
just get
seemed
this
aware
feeling.
of
You don't
us.
wanna know.
They seemed to know who we were.
Okay.
Yes, and
I've heard about KGW.
Honestly, it can be awkward when you call someone up, you
That's
hear
true.
about the story, you're like, okay, I'm going to call, and you wonder to yourself, how
Sure.
much how much will I have to explain?
Yeah.
Because when I contacted that barber a couple of months ago, you may remember the story we did on the 85-year-old barber, 88-year-old barber.
That was a
Ivan Paddock.
great story.
right, that was a great story.
And I call him up, I'm thinking, geez, is he even going to want to do this?
Right.
He may be like, oh, please don't bother me. But it was like, hi, Ivan, this is Drew with KGW. We'd like to come out and do a story. Hey, Drew, watch you guys every morning. That's the first
Perfect.
thing you said.
Yeah, those are great.
And then when you get that, you're like, this is going to be an awesome story because there's already a relationship there.
Right, absolutely, those are good.
So, but I couldn't tell. He was fantastic. I couldn't
Yeah.
tell if he was a viewer or not.
Well, I
That
can
was
tell
a
you, they're very
wonderful
interested
story.
in seeing this story when they get back or online. You can see it at KGW.com and Facebook and everything
Yep.
else. But also, the whole Barracudas team, I let them know, was running this morning. I think probably they all set their DVRs. They'll be checking it out online today. They love the guy.
I kind of, not to put you on the spot, but I sort of want you to go swimming with that Barracudas team and
I
have
know.
them teach you some
I think
stuff.
that would be a great backup. I wanted to go swimming with this one, but I didn't have one of Drew's Speedos to borrow with me. I
God.
should have
One
asked in
of?
advance.
I have a Speedo, Tim.
Oh, you only have that one
Speedo.
black one?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that you had
you wanna
I think
borrow
you had all
that one?
kinds of colors of
You
Speedos.
seem to know my Speedo well, Tim.
So
I've seen it many times
I
on
guess
TV.
the whole city does. I haven't really worn it that much since
No,
I've
you
been
haven't. I know.
inside
Now you're
the studio.
the big anchor, and you don't.
And honestly, you know what? That Speedo I didn't go out and purchase a Speedo. I just told you a minute ago I'm not a swimmer.
Right.
Why would I have a Speedo?
Where did you get
Where
it?
did you
So
get it?
I did a story, you know, probably a decade ago on a high school polo team, a water polo team. And the coach of that team was a viewer, and she was like, I know what you like to do. I know you like to make people laugh. You should put this on for the segment. I was like, what? And
You're
I
like,
was
where's the rest
and
of
she's
it?
got this big smile on her face.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, fine, give it to me. And I put it on, and man, those
It
kids
really
were
worked.
dying.
It
No, we
took off
loved it.
from there.
And then I started wearing it to the polar plunge.
Sure.
Or anytime I was near a body of water, basically, I said,
You wore
It
it well.
happened.
You wore it well. For swimming, it's good to have a
feel
tighter
like-
fitting suit on. You'd go through the water better.
You
so
even wore that when you were not by bodies of water at times, I feel like. I could recollect times.
There were, yeah.
someone
a
posted.
robe and just a Speedo
Yeah,
for a random
just a
thing.
shower.
Honestly,
Anyways.
recently, was it? I don't know if it was you that posted recently on Twitter, or someone else had a post about. It was from like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Where you were walking by an edit bay and you saw a picture of me on the edit computer in my
Wasn't me.
Speedo.
No, I need to see that
And
photo.
you put out a tweet like years ago saying, "Gosh, the things I don't expect to see when I walk by one of our edit bays."
okay.
There's a record of it if it's tweeted
Yep.
on Twitter.
We digress.
It's
Yes.
7:17 on this Wednesday morning. We can say goodbye to our viewers because we all need to move along, I know. But I want to find out, if you told someone, hey, this is the best place to see the story now, do you send them to your Facebook page, to our website? Where can people share the story with others?
You know, right now I've got a Videolicious up on my Facebook and Twitter.
Cool.
And I know Michael Rollins with the web is getting this full produced story up and running. So it will be on
Yay.
KGW's Facebook page. You can see it there. You can certainly see it on my Facebook page. I'll tweet it out as well. So we'll get it to all our platforms.
Then look, keep an eye out, I should say, for this story that Tim did today on David Radcliffe, our former Olympian who's now 85 and still killing it in the pool. Look for this on the very Facebook page or the very website that you're watching
And
right now.
share it.
And share it, please,
Yes.
with others.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys.
I see an Emmy in your future.
Oh, thank you.
That was great. Really good. Really good.